What's up, guys? Welcome to Guanajuato. Nestled in the hills of central Mexico, Guanajuato might just be Mexico's most beautiful city. Steeped in rich history and vibrant culture, the city was founded in the 16th century and was once a prominent mining hub, known for its abundance of silver that fueled the Spanish Empire's economy. The colonial architecture, narrow winding streets, and colorful buildings echo its illustrious past, transporting visitors to a bygone era. Let's check it out. Bus number 1. Bus number 2. Bus number 3. Bus number 4. If you're traveling here by bus, just know that the bus station is a little outside the city, but there are shuttles to the city center. Large buses can't fit in the center of the city, and many streets are pedestrian only. Made it. Buenos dias. I just dropped off my big bag of laundry in this little lavanderia down this little cute alley, which Guanajuato is full of. These little alleys, very difficult to find your way around, even with Google Maps, because you have your streets, but then there's so many things down these little alleys that get you to these other places. So it is a maze, but it is absolutely beautiful here. I love this city. Well, this is one of the rare instances that the place I'm eating does not have lactose-free milk. So thankfully I have my lactate pill. Because if I have whole milk, I'll be running around the city looking for a bathroom, which would make a really funny video, but I'm not willing to do that for you guys. For your first views of the city from above, climb the steps of the main building of the University of Guanajuato. Established in 1827, the university is made up of around 50,000 students in programs ranging from high school to the doctorate level. There are schools under the university in 14 cities in the state of Guanajuato. So I was just here shooting the church, and this young girl comes running over to me. Disculpe, disculpe, excuse me. And I turn around, and it's the girl from the place that I just had breakfast. I left my cell phone there, and she found me, and I'm not exactly near the cafe. Like, she had to run down the street and actually look for me. Whew, saved my life. I gave her a little money. The most iconic symbol of the city, the colorful Basilica of Our Lady of Guanajuato, stands proudly in the Plaza de Paz. Built between 1671 and 1696, its facade is a mix of Baroque and neoclassical styles. Inside, its main altar protects the patron saint of the city, Our Lady of Guanajuato, a wooden statue that was a gift from King Charles V as a form of recognition for the mining prosperity of the city. The construction and decoration of the basilica was sponsored by the miners of Guanajuato. Head down to another architectural gem, the Teatro Juarez, Guanajuato's cultural centerpiece. Named after former Mexican President Benito Juarez and built in the late 19th century, the Baroque and Neoclassical theater serves as a hub for artistic performances, attracting both locals and global talents. I hear the interior is equally magnificent, but unfortunately, it was closed to visitors. Next to the theater stands the impressive Iglesia de San Diego, a Churrigueresque and Baroque masterpiece built in the 18th century by the Franciscan order. The facade, with its intricate stonework, ornate details, and sculpted figures, reflect the craftsmanship of the era. Fronting the church and theater is Guanajuato's main meeting spot, the Jardín de la Unión, or Union Garden, with its well-manicured greenery, benches, charming walkways, and gazebo. It offers locals and tourists a nice spot to relax and soak in the city's atmosphere. So the very first thing you should do in Guanajuato is take the Funicular up the hill and get the most beautiful view that you'll ever see in your life. But today is Monday, and just so you know, Monday is not a great day to be touring around in Mexico because most museums are closed on Monday, which I knew, but I did not expect the Funicular to be closed on Monday too, and it is. I could climb up the steps to that hill, but since I'm just getting over COVID and I'm already kind of tired, and I haven't really done much today, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait till tomorrow. But that really is the first thing you should do because the view is spectacular. And the funicular is fun too. But what is open on Monday is the Mummy Museum, which is a must. Let's go. Be sure to enjoy the spectacular views walking up to the museum because soon your eyes will gaze upon something not so pretty. Hundreds of naturally mummified corpses. This museum's origins trace back to the late 19th century when a local tax used to be imposed on families for the perpetual upkeep of their graves. If families could not afford the tax, the bodies were dug up. During this period, an unusual discovery was made. Numerous remarkably preserved bodies were unearthed in the municipal cemetery. It's believed that the combination of the region's soil composition, weather conditions, and a cholera outbreak in the 1830s led to this natural mummification. Next door is the Museum of Death, displaying macabre items like this 18th century chastity belt. Yikes. It's pretty cheesy. I suggest you skip this part. Around the corner is the source of all those mummies, the cemetery of St. Paula. Elaborately decorated graves and 7-story walls of tombs cover this massive site of approximately 11,000 bodies. Built in 1853, it was the only cemetery in the city for 100 years. Due to the demand, another had to be built outside the city limits. Space is so limited that oftentimes multiple members of one family are interred in the same grave. When the older corpse has decomposed, it's carefully and respectfully put into a bag and then placed inside the casket of the more recently deceased family member. So while a lot of the tourists go to the Mummy Museum, it doesn't seem like anybody comes to the actual cemetery, which you have to walk a little bit out of the way to get to, but it's really just around the corner. It's like a 5-minute walk. And it's beautiful, and I wouldn't mind be buried here. It's funny, like everybody I pass in these residential areas, as I walk down, they kind of look at me, with my camera, and they look very suspicious. And then I say, Buenas tardes. And they're like, oh, Buenas tardes. And they instantly smile. It's pretty funny. It's happened like 17 times already. Since now it's all downhill, I'm going to just walk back. It's only like 12 minutes back to the center. Walking up, that's a whole other story. Can't do that. This iconic landmark, El Mercado Hidalgo, was originally designed to be a train station in the early 1900s. However, due to the Mexican Revolution, the plans changed and it was repurposed as a market. A fusion of European and Mexican styles, its monumental iron structure now houses a vibrant array of stalls, offering everything from fresh produce and spices to local crafts and clothing. Across the street from the market, another stunning Baroque facade caught my eye, El Templo de Belén, an 18th century church that boasts a neo-Gothic interior, complete with beautiful wooden retablos imported from Barcelona. Under the altar, there are around 300 crypts dating back to the late 18th century. Next to the church, the picturesque Jardín de la Reforma, or Reform Garden, a 19th century plaza, offers a great spot to relax and people watch. Mostly college students from the School of Architecture of the University of Guanajuato, which is right here. What a perfect spot to study architecture. Through tiny alleyways, this plaza runs into another, La Plaza de San Roque. Its centerpiece, the church, El Templo de San Roque. Climb up its steps for the views. Spilling into yet another plaza, La Plaza de San Fernando, lined with cafes, restaurants, and shops. This plaza is a happening spot, especially come nightfall. Speaking of nightfall, I watched the sun go down in the Espalda de la Alhóndiga, named after the joining Alhóndiga, an 18th century structure originally built to store grains to prevent famine when there was drought. But the building's main claim to fame is that it was the site of an important victory in the War of Independence. More on that later. At night, and back at the lively Jardín de la Unión, you'll find students dressed in traditional 16th century Spanish costumes, asking tourists to join in on a Callejonada, a tour through the winding callejones, or alleyways. The guided stroll combines music, storytelling, and includes humorous skits and reenactments of local legends and historical anecdotes. Participants are invited to sing along, dance, and revel in the jovial atmosphere. I can't eat all this. Buenos dias, day 2. I'm wearing the same thing as I was yesterday because all my clothes are at the lavanderia, which I'm going to pick up later today. You know, I didn't plan to sit and have breakfast today because I ate like a fat pig last night, but I just can't help myself because you walk by these little cafes outside and the view is stunning. And I just can't help myself but to stop and sit down and have a cappuccino and eat something and admire the view. It almost feels like you're in Paris, you know? Even though I've never been to Paris, so I have no fucking idea what that's like, but this is what I would imagine it's like. Never alone in Mexico. Okay, so now that it's Tuesday, all the museums are open. So I want to go check out this Don Quixote museum. Don Quixote, if you don't know, is a character from a very famous old Spanish novel from Spain, written by Miguel Cervantes. Cervantes is considered like the Shakespeare of Spain. It's a huge, huge, huge novel with all these different stories about this guy, Don Quixote, who's like crazy, insane. And they're funny, but they're also like kind of like metaphors for life. And a lot of the stories that you see in movies or other books and stuff, they're allude to stories that were originally written by Cervantes in Don Quixote, in one of the chapters of this gigantic epic novel. Anyway, here in Guanajuato, they have a festival every year dedicated to Cervantes. So there are statues around the city of Don Quixote and his sidekick, Sancho, with his donkey. And there is a museum, which I want to go check out. So that's going to be the first thing today. Let's go. Hey, how about clicking the like button, subscribe, or even better, the thanks button if you're enjoying this video or you find it helpful in planning your trip to Guanajuato. Okay, time to get my laundry. You don't need a gym membership here because just walking, oh my God, look at this view I just stumbled upon. You're a lucky dog. Look at this view you have. I just got shit on. Fucking beautiful here. Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, muchas gracias.
Okay. Muchísimas gracias. Hasta luego. Okay, dropped off my laundry. Now I'm headed to the Diego Rivera House Museum. Diego Rivera, the famous Mexican artist, who, if you've seen my previous videos, you've seen a lot of his murals. He grew up in Guanajuato and his house is now a museum. Let's go! Besides the period furniture, the three-story mansion of Rivera's childhood showcases a large and impressive display of his work. Photos and video of the art are not allowed. All throughout the city, you'll find entrances to tunnels that date back to the 18th century. Originally built to manage flooding by diverting water away from the city center, they were expanded over the years and have become thoroughfares for vehicles and pedestrians, easing congestion in the bustling streets above. Walking through the tunnels. A popular spot for tourists in love is the Callejón del Beso, or Alley of the Kiss. This Romeo and Juliet-like legend tells of a young couple forbidden to be together by their families, whose houses were so close that they were able to kiss each other from their balconies. When the girl's father discovered them, he attacked the boy, which caused the boy to fall over and die. And in his rage, the father bludgeoned his daughter to death. The alley is supposedly haunted by the two young spirits. Lovers who kiss on the third step, where the boy fell to his death, guarantees the couple's happiness. A kiss on any other step? Sadness and heartache.
Hey, do you want to kiss me on the balcony? You want to give me a kiss on the balcony?
Guess not. All right, time to get some dinner. I saw a sign for a place that said it had a rooftop and a beautiful view. So let's find out. Okay, that was very good. I actually asked for a takeout container. What I said you should do the first thing you come to Guanajuato is take this funicular up to the hill. And I am doing it as the last thing I do in Guanajuato for the most spectacular view you'll ever see. Let's go. Standing on top of the hill is the giant statue of El Pipila, Guanajuato's unlikely hero of the War of Independence. A miner, he was born both physically and mentally handicapped, and was often taunted for his peculiar walk, hence the name El Pipila, meaning hen turkey. This miner stormed the Alhóndiga, where Spanish soldiers and their families took refuge from the insurgents, barricading themselves inside. El Pipila, with a flat stone tied to his back to protect him from the armed soldiers on the roof, and a torch, set the place on fire, allowing the other miners to enter and kill everyone inside. The statue shows him with what is now called the Torch of Liberty. Guanajuato has to be my all-time favorite city in Mexico. The views, the colors, the steep winding alleyways, the culture, the history. It's still hard to believe a city like this exists in Mexico. I don't know why it isn't packed with more tourists. Until next time, my friends, adios.